I bet you have seen those editors that their editing is not really spectacular and they're doing crazy and crazy amounts of money, and you're still stuck with maybe like 2, 3K, working with the same client, still doing the same thing, getting better and better each day, don't get me wrong. But in terms of money, you're stuck. And then you start watching these editors that, again, the edits are not that good and they are making way more money than you. Like, what are you doing wrong? Look, let me just start by saying that you're not doing anything wrong, alright? You're probably watching this video because you somehow felt some jealousy of anyone before. I understand your position, I understand what you're going for, because I felt the same before. I know what it's like to feel this jealousy, to feel consumed by this awful feeling that you have that makes you stop being conscious and do some horrible things like anger or hate about someone that leaves you with this intriguing feeling of hating or actually lying about success. Most of you boys know my backstory, but for the ones who don't know, I used to be a filmmaker back then. I used to go out and shoot some music videos here and there. I used to do events. I literally did movies. And if you really think about it, I was a freelancer just like I am right now. I had the business. The business was my name, was my filming work. People used to ask me when I'm free to shoot, when I'm free to edit this video, things like that. I keep telling myself that I was progressing in my career, that not everything is instant, and I'll get there if I just keep doing baby steps, I'll get there. And then when I finish my school, when I finish my cinema course, I keep doing my stuff without bothering anyone else. I'll just focus on me and my business. But then a couple months goes by and I keep seeing on Instagram, I keep seeing their progress. I keep seeing them having so much progress, working with these big brands, working with these big name artists, and I was there, stuck, doing $100 music videos. This got so over me that I started to develop hate towards them. Keep in mind, this was my colleagues just a couple months ago, and I was hating on them because I didn't have the same success as them. I felt so jealous of that. I had this awful feeling, this jealousy for months and months, and this was actually one of the reasons, of the topics that made me fall into alcoholism. There was other topics to the matter, but this was a big one. I thought that I was getting like zero progress on my life. I was doing less than minimum wage, working my ass off every fucking day, here and there. I was working and I didn't feel any progress on my life because I keep comparing to the others. Everyone has this belief, this system that we as humans develop on our ability to achieve something, and that's called confidence. We gain confidence basically getting love from the others, getting affirmation from the others. For example, when you post on Twitter, you get those comments saying like, "This is so good, you are goated, you are the goat of editing." This makes you happy, this feeds your ego and you release dopamine because of it. When we don't get this type of comments, we start seeing other editors posts that are getting this kind of comments, and this is what we want. This is how we subconsciously create jealousy. And when we don't have this reception, we go on other people's posts and see they are getting the attention that we want. They are in the position that we want to be. And because of that, we subconsciously create jealousy. And when we develop this feeling, we stop using our brains. We start acting emotionally, which leads to 99% to do the wrong thing. Look, again, I totally understand your position on this. People tend to minimize the success of the others in order to cope with their own insecurities. It's a defense mechanism that it's easier to accept than you might be limiting your own success. And this is because we feel that these people don't really deserve the enjoyment of success they are having, and that we deserve so much more than them. With all of these events, we come back to the beginning of this conversation, that is confidence. You actually start losing your confidence. When you start losing this confidence, think about every progress that you have made so far. Let's hypothetically say that you are in the position that you're doing like 2 or 3K and you feel jealous of someone that the edits are mid and they are doing like 8K per month. You feel jealous about that person. I want you to think, a couple months ago, were you doing 2 to 3K per month? Have you got back then the skills that you have today? Have you reached the clients that you reached nowadays that you have on your portfolio? Have you got them like a couple months ago? Probably not. With this, I want you to understand that it's okay to feel jealous, but please don't lose your confidence over this. Any progress that you made so far, it's better than no progress. Even if you learned a new skill or you did 500 more per month, it's better than nothing. And now, if you feel jealous, if you're watching this video and you feel jealous of someone, I want you to think a couple months ago. Did you have the same amount of money that you do right now? Do you have the same amount of skill? Do you have the same amount of clients? Do you have the same amount of portfolio that you have right now? Have you got that a couple months ago? Now you can ask me, oh, Eros, but I actually feel jealous of a friend of mine. Doesn't that make me a bad friend? Look, I don't think you are a bad friend just because you are jealous of your friend. I just want you to learn to be genuinely happy for the others, genuinely happy for your friend. Although it feels like a comparison because he is having the progress and you're not, maybe you rather use this energy and really focus on getting to the point that he is. If you make it as you look up to him, it gives you the sense of competition and that motivates you, that makes you going. It sets you up to fly high. This is the part of the video when we reach the actionable steps that you should do. The first part is, I want you to open a Notion or just a notebook in general, and I want you to write these 3 questions, and I want you to answer them super sincerely. First of all, what's your definition of success? What does the others have that you don't? Why do you think that you want to be in their position? The second question that I want to ask you is, what does the success of others have to do with you? Are they preventing or limiting you to do better? Is there like a finite amount of success to be had? And the third and last one that I want to ask you is, what are you doing or feeling that's limiting your ability to be successful? This is the first part of the actionable steps that I want you to take. Answer them sincerely, and I assure you that you will have a completely different perspective on this. This was actually 3 questions that someone made me a couple of years ago when I had this feeling. So I know it works. The second part of the actionable steps that I want to mention is, I want you to understand that the way you combat this feeling of jealousy is going to reflect on your wins and your achievements in editing. This is your mind telling you that you have more to achieve. You want more and you need this more. There is still one big goal and you want to score it. And look, this is the most important one. I want you to admit that you're jealous. It's like if you fake being happy, you're not really happy because you're faking it. So just be true to yourself and really chase that goal. And the most boring part of this, and sorry to keep this to the last, but you need to be mature. You need to beat those demons that makes you jealous and really understand that if someone is in a better position than you, it's probably because they work for it. Because trust me, no one is making more than 5k just by luck. So there must be work involved. I want you to value that as well. And now I want you to grind even more. Again, I just want you to tell you that it's normal to feel like this. I did this video because I don't want to simply say that you should ignore these feelings and just do other thing. Humans are super emotional. We always try to think logically, but when the time comes when this type of feelings come, we just act emotional. So again, before you jump and start adding on someone, try to give this video another try. Try to do all the steps and see if you have a change. If you did, please comment on this video. I want to see your progress. But yeah, bro, I hope this helped you in any way.